Hey guys, hi. It's been a while. I look like I've been crying because I have been. It's Valentine's Day, and I sent my mother a message telling her thank you for all the great things and, being there for my life because my mom is my Valentine. My mom is my Valentine. So it's been a couple of weeks. Try and pick up my energy. It's been a couple of weeks since, I think 2 weeks. I'm going to see if and try to post this today, but I wanted to make an announcement. So I'm not going to be vlogging anymore. I told myself that I wanted to try it for a couple of weeks and then see how I feel about it, and come back to if I thought it was a good think about it. And the other day I sat down and I made my goals, where I want to be 5 years from now and 1 year from now, 3 months from now, and all of that. And vlogging was just taking too much. It was not helping me achieve my goals, but it was taking my time. So I've decided to stop vlogging. If I do something that I want to post like as a vlog, I'll do that, but not this weekly thing. I don't want to be a vlogger. I don't want to be someone who has hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube as a vlogger. I want to be someone who has hundreds of $1,000s as an actor. So it's been fun. There's a couple of you that come and watch my vlogs, some exes that are still watching, and some of you that are genuinely interested in my journey. So if you are still interested in my journey, continue to follow me on social media. Instagram, I am Washuka. That's I am WACUKA. In my Facebook, Washuka, which should be Grace Washuka coming up. So now that this is a goodbye, I'm thinking of the best way to say it. So apart from, this, a lot of other things that have been going on with me is my day job, is applying to master's program, is an incredible opportunity I just heard about yesterday that I'm going to start working on immediately. And actually today I wanted to, if I was going to vlog, I was going to vlog on all the reasons why you should be single in 2019. And actually, you know what? I might just do that. Yeah, let's just do it. A happy Valentine's to those of you who are still on Valentine's Day. It's 4 p.m. here, so we're still on Valentine's Day, and happy Valentine's. These are the reasons why I think you should be single in 2019. The first reason I think you should be single in 2019 is that you're free. You are free. As a single person, you are free. It is so much better to be single than in a wrong relationship. I know not everybody thinks that way, and that's probably thinking that needs to be corrected. But if you have had a string of relationships that are not good, then it behooves you to take some time to figure out why. And because you're free, you have the time to do that. You have the time to reevaluate yourself. You're not thinking about merging your vision with somebody else's vision. You're not thinking about choices and how they'll impact somebody else. And freedom is a really, really great thing sometimes, because then you can just clear everything. You can clean up your house. You can throw away everything that you had, and nobody's gonna be like, what are you doing? Yeah. So it's not that your next boyfriend is going to fix what your last boyfriend did, but you chose your last boyfriend for a reason, and so you need to figure out why, truly figure out why. Andy Roth's video, Starting Over, those 3 videos are really, really good videos from a biblical perspective. Starting over, asking yourself the question, what was I thinking? But genuinely, what was I thinking? Like seriously sit down and think, what were you thinking? Where were you in that place when you got into those relationships? And I love freedom. And you know, freedom is limited. You're not always going to be single, so enjoy it while you can. The second reason I would say you should be single in 2019 is you got issues. You got issues. Everybody has issues. We all have our problems. But I say here that I said something that you have issues that are not going to be dissolved by a tissue. And one of the funniest things is I think one time one of my exes, not one of the good ones, but one of my exes had this video online and somebody posted with his new boo, and some girl posted goals, and I was like, sweetheart, if you knew what kind of a guy that was, you would make anti-goals. You would be like, you know what? That is on my not to do list. So some of my exes, I pray for those girls that are with my exes more than I pray for myself sometimes. We all have issues, and you probably need to work things out. If you grew up, I don't know, if you have any kind of childhood traumas and, you know, relationship histories and the best, daddy issues, mommy issues, you need to sort those things out. Because personally, like, I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm like, oh, he doesn't call me, he doesn't text me, you know, where were you? Like, and some of that could be insecurity, some of that could just be a problem of selection, but you need to work out the stuff in yourself that is probably like how you were raised to think about people, you know, dealing with past disappointments and hurts. Because there's this girl, she put this quote on the over 25 page. If you don't heal, help yourself heal from past relationships, you'll bleed on someone that didn't cut you. And I really like that. So it's better to just bleed on your own, in your own whatever, than bleed on someone else, giving somebody else your neuroses. Just try to come to a place with you and God where you are in a healthy place for someone else to be admitted into your life. Not a lot of people are self-aware to ask themselves, like, am I in a healthy place where I think someone should be a part of my life? A lot of people just are lonely, or they want sex, and they lie. They tell you that they are and they're not. And you gotta be careful about those ones, the dishonest ones. But yeah, you got issues. The third one is know thyself. That's the third reason why I think you should be single. You don't want to just be with a person, I guess, if you're watching this. You don't want to just have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or someone who doesn't identify as either. You want to be with someone who matches your values. If you don't know what your values are, well, it's a great thing you're single, because now you get to figure those out. And there's this really good book, I Only Want to Get Married Once, that had a list of 10 questions before you decide that you want to be with someone. And I remember I was sort of seeing someone at the time, and I read that book and I was like, it's clearly over between us, because they did not match my values at all. I did not know myself. I thought things that were just preferences for me I thought things that were values for me were just preferences, but I've come to realize that, like, some things for me are like hardcore. So yeah, like, I have a list of the kind of person that I want to be with, and there's 11 things on that list. I think the most anybody has ever been on that list is 7, but I am 4. I am 4 of the things that I want. So I'm, you know, I read that in a whatever, an article. Make a list of all the things that you want to be, and then spend the next couple of years becoming that person. So that's actually what I'm working on. Is I have a list of the perfect person that I want to be with, and every day, every other day, every week, I look at my list and I ask myself, have I become more of any of those things? And it's actually working. The fourth reason why I think you should be single this year is because of the level of the person you want. Maybe right now the kind of person that you want to be with is just not on the level you're currently at. And so you can avoid the pain of a breakup and just get to the level where you want to be. When I say level, I think sometimes I'm mostly thinking about your career, because like, I mean, I've met guys who are okay with me being a struggling actor in New York. That's something that they can date, they're fine with. But if I say that, you know, I'm world renowned, I make six figures, they might have an issue. They might have an issue with me making a lot of money. They might have an issue with me being in the public eye. They might have an issue with those kinds of things. So to this, I would say, if you are in Kirinyaga, which is a district in Kenya, and you want to go to London, and you meet someone in Kirinyaga whose dream is Meru, which is another place in Kenya, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a big problem. A lot of people say, oh, you know, go with the flow, go with the flow. Listen, there's this quote that says, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. If you're fine dating anybody and ending up anywhere, go with the flow. By all means, don't even consider the flow. But I personally believe that's nonsense. You need to figure out where you're going. You don't just need to figure out your values, you also need to figure out where you're going. And then you need to find people who are going in that direction. All of my friends, when I met them, were not where they are now. But for some reason, all of them are like stupidly successful, or like on the path to success. Some of them, even though they're going through a lot of difficulties and a lot of trials, have this kind of success mentality that I'm very, very sure that 5 years from now, 3 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, they're going to achieve everything, because it's not only their mind that is in progress, but also the things that they do every day, the books that they read, the things they attend, that also reminds me to keep going. Personally, I like to, like, I don't know, I have like specific kinds of friends that I like to keep. I like being around people who are ambitious, people who are optimistic, people who like to see the good in life, people who are on some kind of hustle. I am genuinely like attracted to such people because I'm not very good at small talk. And so people who are Christian, oh my God, I love people who are Christian, and for whom God is very, 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 very important in their lives. And not just like God is like, oh, this is my religion, but Christian as in they read the Bible, they go to church, they memorize scripture. Like, they're not the hypocrites that Jesus, you know, was like told the Jews of that time, like, oh, you hypocrites, you say that you're Jewish, but you're not really Jewish. You know, it's funny that some Christians have just become that, and even churches are okay with, some churches are okay with the hypocrisy, and, you know, these days churches aren't safe spaces anymore to find people that genuinely believe in what they're learning. A lot of people have taken like a little bit of the Bible, a little bit of, I don't know, Buddhism, a little bit of, you know, they've created something that they want, a religion that they want. I call those people church visitors, you know. And then obviously there's the ultra-conservative people that are constantly judging and criticizing you and saying this is the way, you know, and if you don't believe what I believe as a Christian, then, you know, you'll be damned and go to hell. Those are both extremes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about knowing thyself as a reason to be. No. I'm talking about the level of the person you want to be with, and maybe just accepting that maybe you're just not there. Maybe you're in Egypt and you want to go to Canaan, and all the people you're considering are Egyptians. Maybe you need to go through the wilderness and get to Canaan, and there's going to be some pretty great people for you in Canaan. Yeah, and in the meantime, if you decide to date an Egyptian while you're saying you're going to Canaan, you're definitely going to regret it. It's definitely going to be a waste of time. You're going to think it'll be fun. It's not going to be fun. Yeah, you can learn from it. You can grow from it. It's all wonderful. But I'm talking to you from the point of, is this the decision that you need to make? So I think for you to follow the things that I'm saying, you need to let go of society. You need to let go of everything that society is telling you. If you just want to be with someone because you don't want to be lonely, because you want to post it on social media, because you're scared you're never going to, well, a couple of things. The first thing is society is a lie. Society is not going to be sitting there with you as you're waiting for your husband to come home at like midnight because he's drinking. Society is not going to help you raise your children. Society is not going to sit with you in your house as you're living with another person you don't actually want to be with. So you need to let go of society, because society is not going to help you do any of that. Society is not going to pay your school fees, it's not going to pay your rent, it's not going to do anything. Unless I think you live in Nordic countries, society does help you out. So this is your life and you need to let go of society. Another thing is, based on this model, my model is as long as it takes. Some people say, you know, I'd rather meet someone okay at the age of 25 than wait until I'm 40 to be with someone. Ask yourself, are you okay waiting? You know, if it means that you get to be with someone who could just literally blow your mind away for the rest of your life, are you okay with waiting? Now, there's some logistics to that, especially for women, like, you know, having children. If you want to have children, I can understand why you'd have a time pressure for yourself. But I would say, if you're stressed out about, like, will I ever find someone? Will I ever meet someone? Blah, blah, blah. You need to spend some time reading your Bible, and you need to spend less time listening to society and what people have to say to you. Yeah, you need to spend more time with God, less time with people, because God knows what He's doing. The fifth thing that I would say, for a reason you should be single this year, is, I don't know, on the path to Egypt to Canaan, maybe you should consider global. Feminism is a wave that has made, you know, it's becoming more commonplace to hear people talking about feminism, even men. But in some societies have not absorbed feminism. And even like some men haven't absorbed feminism, even though they say that they do. Some men want you to be their therapists because they've never unpacked anything in their lives with a professional. They want you to be their mothers because their mothers took care of them. They want you to be their counselors, to counsel them through everything that they go through, even though they haven't developed the communication skills or the capacity to counsel you. Some guys want you to cook, they want you to clean, they want you to raise children, always look hot, and, you know, whatever. And there's some societies where that's just the expectation. Society enforces that. Some societies you'll get looked down on if you come home late, but the guy doesn't come home late. If you travel a lot for work, but the guy doesn't. And you, in knowing thyself, oh my gosh, in your values and what you want in a partner, that's very important. Consider global. Consider moving countries. I'm not even joking. Maybe you need to study elsewhere where women's rights are more celebrated. You know, a place where working as hard as your husband and going half for half is not a big deal. A place where you take care of the children and I'm leaving to go to work is fine. A place where men are actually paid paternity leave as well. You know, I think paternity leave in the US is like 2 weeks and maternity leave is like 6 months. Maybe you need to live in a place where paternity leave and maternity leave is equal. Or you need to be with someone who's okay with taking a paternity leave and leaving their work for as long as you leave your work. You know, maybe you need to move. And maybe that's why you should be single. And when you decide to attach yourself to somebody that is not good for you, you're rooting yourself to whatever is going on with them. The sixth thing, reason why I think you should be single is focus. What are you focused on? So right now, I'm stopping vlogging because for me right now, I'm in like a season of elimination. I've been eliminating a lot of useless things, trying to see how to do less but accomplish more. Listen, the only time I should say, or I would advise anybody to be single, anybody to be in a relationship, is if that person is helping you move forward in your life. You know, once a guy starts bringing you stress, and these are the years where, by the way, you need to be figuring out a lot of things. Your money, your finances, your goals, your friendships, you know, your adulting. Once a guy starts stressing you out, whatever, those minutes are minutes that you're never going to get back. Those are minutes that you could be thinking about things that could set you up for life. For life. Sitting down and figuring out a financial plan for yourself is something that could set you up for life. Taking the time to apply to grad school, master's, undergraduate, a degree, screenwriting, producing, being a lawyer, that could set you up for life. For life. But no, you're spending those 2 hours on the phone arguing with him about why didn't he get you something on Valentine's Day. if you meet a guy who has honestly contributed to the quality of your life, and this is also like personally speaking, if I meet someone that can honestly make my life better, like I'm not trying to clean this person up, I'm not trying to get them to be something that I know they'll never be, like the kind of love I give myself is greater than what they could possibly give me, then fine. But if not, then you just shouldn't be focusing on it. So ask yourself anytime you're beginning a relationship, or maybe like do a check-in after a month or 2 months, is this a progress or a regress? Okay, just keep asking yourself after every conversation that you have with them, is this a progress or a regress? And you'll know. Dating is not a husband, it's not a boo. I don't understand people who post their relationships online. I think, I don't know, maybe one day I'll become that person, and right now it won't make sense to me. But, and also like, I also feel like people should say I love you at the end of a relationship than at the beginning. Like on my deathbed, I want to hear my husband say that he loves me for the first time. Because that's when I'll know if he actually did. That's when I'll know if, with the illnesses that came, the people we lost, the moves that happened, whatever went on with the kids, the multiple times where loyalty was like, we almost faltered, the times when, we fell out of love and lost our money, made so much money, moved countries, like had to take on new jobs, new responsibilities. My body changed, their body changed. After all that is when I want to hear the words, I love you. Because people say I love you, but they're talking about this, romantic attraction, like I want to take care of you. And that's fine. It's okay to feel like you want to take care of someone. But post a lot of people telling me I love you, I have been cheated on. I have been left, abandoned in the middle of a relationship. I have been told I'm not ready after I love you. A lot of men really don't know what they're doing. And I think part of it is also just like bad father role models. The father cycle in our society is not very good. The mother cycle, I think, is fine for most people. But the father cycle, especially in, I think maybe, I don't know if it's a thing in black communities, because that's all I know. But sons not having very good role models who are fathers, and then having to work twice as hard to become good role models. I'm not saying you can't be, but it's difficult for some of them because they have no concept of what a good father role model is, and then they have children, and then, it just continues. Women seeing their mothers be in relationships that are quite honestly toxic and they shouldn't even have been in the first place, but seeing their mothers being nurturers, caregivers the whole time, sacrificing so much for a relationship, then growing up to now become women who choose or find themselves in toxic relationships, constantly nurturing and taking care of other people. Like, I know my face looks interesting and whatever, but this is what I'm trying to say, is that maybe not now, maybe one day, but maybe not now. If you have a lot of things on your plate, I'm not talking about, personally, I have a million things on my plate. If you have only one thing on your plate and that's your job, then of course you can be single. I mean, maybe, I don't know about where you are mentally in dealing with your destructive patterns in, therapy and all of that. I don't know where you are with that. But if you are also at the same time trying to build things or make things happen that are still in the infancy stage, you need to genuinely ask yourself, is this a progress or a regress? Because 1 minute of your infancy stage baby is like 12 years of that thing growing versus 1 minute of a momentary relationship, and who knows in 12 years if it'll be there. But if you're already at a place where things are starting to calm down, they're starting to settle down, you're mostly now just managing your business and finding more creative ways to do things as opposed to starting a business, then you're in a better place. I have a friend who owns a very successful company, And I mean, on the first like 3-4 years of the company, single, it was work and family, family, work, and like some friends. That's where I came in. But after a couple of years, he got a girlfriend. But now it's like things are more manageable. You know what I'm saying? Like the company is doing well, him and his family, everything's good. So he can actually afford to have a girlfriend because he's not at the beginning of his business. That's just my opinion. Don't have to listen to me. Sometimes, like, for people who are single, although this is, I don't even know how this is gonna go, but sometimes, like, you just need to make yourself a snack. Like, not make yourself a snack as in make yourself something to eat, but make yourself a snack as in, oh wow, my arms. I've been working out. I see my arms. I see them. But make yourself a snack as in, there's this really good book. Change Your Clothes, Change Your Life. It's a really good book. One of my most favorite books. And it was basically talking about the importance of how you dress and how you present yourself to your life, you know. And it had this really nice quote. It said, when a woman dresses well, they see the woman. When a woman dresses badly, they see the clothes. When I'm looking good, people are more likely to want to be like, oh, would you like, you know, I could introduce you to a few people. I could, what are you doing on Tuesday? Like, opportunities open up when I look like somebody you should take seriously. If I'm dressed like you shouldn't take me seriously, then why would anybody? You know, you can learn so much about someone by just looking at how they dress. And you don't, it takes you 5 seconds, you do like a zoom up and a zoom down, and in your head you've already made a million decisions. This person probably makes this amount of money, they probably listen to this kind of music, this is probably what they do in their free time. Like, by just looking at someone, you figure out in your head that's somebody I'd date. Just by looking at them, you know, that's somebody I'd want to be friends with. That's somebody that, you know, that looks like somebody who, you know, and that's why I take my dress seriously. I mean, I know right now could be better, but some people are like, oh, you know, I'm single, I've always been single, I'm always going to continue being single. But like, gosh, it's going to be so rude, but like the way you look, you know, what is that communicating to you? And one of the best things about this book is that it told me to wear every single piece and item of clothing I owned, stand in front of the mirror and go, what does this communicate? What does this communicate? What does this communicate? Before I leave the house, I look in the mirror and ask myself, what does this communicate? Communicates, you know, and then based on that, you know, that's what you're giving other people to work with. So like, your hair is not washed for like days, weeks. Your dressing is shagala bagala, and then you're over there being like, I don't know why I'm single. Girl, look like a snack. The same way a guy who's dressed so well would catch my attention like this, and someone who's dressed in, I don't know, baggy jeans, multicolored, like that's just for me. I'm not saying this is how everybody should be or everybody, but personally, I would like look at the guy in the tux and I'd be like, you know, and I'd look at the guy in a sweatshirt that looks like it hasn't been washed in 50 days and be like, the guy in the tux might make no money, and the guy in the whatever might make all the money in the world. Kikuyus. When you find out that the guy makes money, you will oversee the sweater, you'll oversee, like, in your head, he's now wearing a tux, which, by the way, actually happened to me once. I was in a restaurant, and I was talking to a guy who I thought was the waiter, and I was just like, oh yeah, nice to meet you, yeah, it's good chatting. Then he was like, yeah, you know, when I became a manager, and I moved here, and I started managing the branches, I was like, what? I was like, did you say manage branches? And literally, I don't even know how to describe this to you. Before my eyes, he was transforming. Like inside my eyes, my eyeballs started seeing cheekbones that I hadn't seen, muscles I hadn't seen. All of a sudden, clearly I have my issues and I'm working on them. Don't judge me. If you're judging me, I'm judging you for something horrible you do in your life that you shouldn't be doing. If you're going to judge me, I'm going to judge you, because then we get to judge each other. But yeah, dressing is really important. Sometimes, you know, you got to ask yourself the question, am I looking like what's looking for me? You know, am I looking for what's looking for me? People always think I have money because of the way I dress, because of the way I speak, because of the way I dress. If you knew the way I grew up, you'd be very, very surprised. But I think somewhere in my mind, I told myself this is where I want to be. And since then, I've just been acting like that. I've been acting like that. And even though I work a very strange day job, the other day I met the owner of a law firm who now wants to have coffee next week and introduce me to a lot of people in the entertainment industry. Why? It's how you present yourself. It's how you present yourself. It's how you present yourself, and people make decisions on how you present yourself. So you can read the book, Change Your Clothes, Change Your Life, and it'll help you. It'll help you think about just the way to dress for both women and men. This doesn't just go for women. Although I think men can get away with looking horrible but having a lot of money, and women are still attracted to them, but women can't quite get away with that and still attracting mates. I don't know, maybe that'll have changed by the time this video is finished posting. And it's probably like something animal, like animal instinct. Like to you, seeing money thinks the survival of the species because they have the resources for us to survive. So there's probably animal instincts, and a woman who's attractive to a man and in his animal instinct thinks she looks supple and like she'll survive childbearing years, and our beautiful children will survive. Just look at who Prince Harry married. That's a snack. Obama, who he married, snack. Beyonce is a snack. So maybe you need, Gabrielle Union is a snack. Oh my goodness. So maybe you need to snackify yourself. Maybe you need to ask yourself, how can I become a snack? I'm not even joking. If you become a snack, people are hungry. Yeah. But okay, this is snackifying in like getting people to like you. There's also snackifying in just loving yourself. One of the things that I hate, one of the quotes that I hate is, who can love you when you can't even love yourself? Actually, that's not a quote. But nobody will love you if you don't love yourself. Listen, Jesus will love you even if you don't love yourself. There are lots of people. The lady who is the COO of Facebook, the one who wrote Lean In, her husband, when he met her, she was, and you don't have to be single and then fix yourself to find someone. That's actually a myth. That's actually a myth. It's a myth. If you read this book called Attached, it's a myth because it's an idea that came from substance abuse in the 1960s. This whole idea of you need to take care of yourself before finding someone, you need to be complete and then find another complete person. None of that is true. What is true is you need to figure out your neuroses, if your neuroses are going to affect your relationship. But you don't have to be whole or complete or whatever to find another person. That's completely not true. But if you genuinely just want the time to yourself, to develop a relationship with God, to learn how to love yourself, then being single is really, 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 really amazing. So, love, like, I don't like that quote because it's like, I need to love myself so that other people can love me. And I know that's kind of the advice I was giving, but it's more of like single people who are trying to get mates. That advice of maybe you need to snackify yourself. But also the snackifying yourself if you're not looking for a mate and you're single is, the word mate, is love yourself. Listen, forget about him. This is about you. Your life is about you. The only person who's going to know what happened from the beginning of your life to the end of your life is you. And probably you won't even remember that well. So you need to love yourself because no matter what you do, love is a risk and you cannot control it. You can't control people. Just because you've now married the snack of the world, values on point, he's going to London, even you also in Kirinyaga, has done all the therapy in the world, that doesn't mean that you're going to have a relationship that, first of all, will last your whole life or his whole life, because a million things could happen. That doesn't mean that he'll always be that way. People become alcoholics in the middle. People get sick. People all of a sudden cheat. People get depressed. Like, all kinds of things can happen in a relationship. Just because you score somebody doesn't mean that the work is over. You will need to recommit yourself to a person that is literally transforming in front of your eyes. The person that you marry, for women for some reason marry men that they now want to change. They go, oh, he does this, he does that, he does this. But if I can just push him, he's going, and that's what I said in my Centonomy video. Don't listen to me. Don't push anybody. Find someone who's already pushing his own thing. Like, I'll find someone and I'll make them this and this and this and that and that, and I will make them into who I want them to be. And yeah, I guess for some people that works, like, but me personally, I just don't have the energy to make someone else and make myself. Like, I just don't have the energy. I can support what's already going on, but I would have to become a housewife, honestly, and even that's quite difficult. I would have to give up my own dreams, my own everything for him to grow, for him to, I would actually, and then men marry women and think she will never change. She'll always be beautiful. Her boobs will always be here. She'll never add weight. She'll just always look like this, and it's unfortunate because everything changes. Maybe sometimes men don't change. But sometimes they do. So the whole point of snackifying yourself and loving yourself and making sure that you have a great relationship with God and yourself is because those are the only two relationships that are guaranteed to last you your whole life. Everything else is you're not in control. You can have 10 years of a great marriage and then in the 11th it all unravels. So developing a relationship with God, I would say, would be supreme for me. Yeah, for anybody who's single. God knows everything. God knows why you were made. God knows. And for some strange reason, people think that following God is more constrictive than doing your own thing. But that's a whole other topic. Even some churches think that. It's a lot of people. There's a whole breed of people who think that the secular world is good. Having unchecked sex, masturbating, pornography, cheating, lying, gambling. They think that that's good, but they don't seem to remember the shame, the guilt, the brokenness, the depression that all those things are trying to cover. A lot of people are using the name of God in vain. A lot of people are claiming to be followers of whatever religion, but they are disappointing God in that way because other people are looking at them as an example of that religion, people who are not in that religion, and they're seeing, oh, this person says that they're Christian, but they also have sex, they also masturbate, they also watch pornography, they also have premarital sex. Oh, I guess then I don't need to be a Christian, or I guess even me, I can be a Christian. That's exactly the kind of stuff that Jesus hated to the core. So yeah, if there's any books that I would recommend that you should read in your singleness, the first book I would definitely recommend above all books is the Bible. If you say you're Christian and you're not reading the Bible, I don't know what you're doing. You're not going to church. Maybe you're just like a church visitor. But I wouldn't say that you're Christian because you'll confuse other people. Attached is a really good book. Getting the Love You Want. And just try to learn how to place God above it all. Yeah, try to get to a place where your faith is beyond what you actually see in life. Just because you've been in bad relationships doesn't mean that you'll always be in bad relationships. There is a good one out there for you. And sometimes you need to be in pruning season. Sometimes this isn't the time to do more. Sometimes it's time to do less. Sometimes it's time to know yourself and learn how to value yourself. Sometimes it's time to just stop wanting to be with someone give it to God and say, you know what, God, up to you. And move on, move on. There's a really powerful thing, and it's called move on from your prayers. You know, if you've asked God for something, believe that it'll happen and then move on. You know, like I've already made the request. I made the request for my husband 3 years ago, and since then, I've gotten into relationships that honestly were not God approved, and it's probably why they ended up being the way they did. And God was just like, and God has told me, Washuka, if you want to be in a relationship, tell me. And I'm just like, okay, I'll let you know when the time happens. But as far as like the kind of person that I want to be with and all of that, I already made my request to God 3 years ago, and I know for sure it's coming. Like for sure. I don't think of my singleness as this never-ending sad thing that who knows when it'll end, and all my friends. Listen, it's Valentine's Day, and I'm so happy that I am following my dreams, that I have come this far in my journey, that I am taking daily steps to achieve my goals, and that opportunities are showing up every single day that affirm the things that I want. I have evidence that I am on the right track. I am in no mood to hurry God. I am in no mood to start spending 2 hours on the phone. I am in no mood to start thinking of dinners and vacations and whatever, because I know that that stuff comes with a whole other load of responsibilities that right now I'm just so not ready for. So if I have a promise of a date on a specific day, let's say 2021 March 4th, I will be at the most incredible date with somebody that I love to the core. Somebody that I want to love for the rest of my life to the core. Somebody that inspires me, makes me feel like their journey inspires me. Somebody who's doing the work on themselves. And I'm single now. If somebody sends me a picture of myself at the date, I'm not going to start looking at the picture every other day. I'm like, oh, when will this happen? How will this happen? Whatever. If I know it's going to happen, then you just forget about it. The same way you order for something online, you click, order, and you know it's going to happen. You don't start thinking, oh, I wonder if it's going to happen. I wonder. No, you know it's going to happen, and you move on. So when you ask God for something, move on. If you tell God, God, listen, I really want to be a film director. Tell him, I want to study at this academy. Tell him, I want to, be accepted to this law school. I want to finish this degree. I want to be a nurse. I want to have a child. I want to be healthy. Believe, and then move on, and then you'll receive. Don't every day, is the package coming? It's tracking it. No, you have other things to do. You already asked for the package. You already ordered it. It's on the way. So move on. And that's what radical faith is. I'm not even radical. It's just common sense. If you ask somebody for something, they say, okay, fine, I'll give it to you. Then you just believe them and you move on. You don't start, thinking. And let me tell you, how thinking will be the end of all your dreams. Once you start thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Everything will crash. When you believe it will happen, then you're starting to think like a successful person. If you can get yourself to the point where you believe 3 years from now, this is exactly where I'm going to be. And you can see it. You can actually see it. Open your eyes and move on. And God will figure out a way to make those things happen. And one day you'll be there. And if you're not there, you're going to be in a place so much better than there. This is the only two options. You either be there or you'll be in a place that's better than there. That's it. That's how God operates. God is a God of provision. Once you start being like, oh my gosh, but it's too expensive. How will I do it? They don't accept people from my whatever. They don't this. It's not possible. Then obviously nothing is going to happen. And maybe that's why you should be single. Is to get yourself to start believing and moving on. Get yourself to sit down one day and make a 5-year bloody plan of your life, or 3 years, or 1 year, and then move on. And when I say move on, I mean like when you think of your goals, be at peace, be happy. Don't start thinking, how is this going to happen? So many people have taken God out of their lives, and that's probably why their lives are so difficult. I want to go to med school, but I don't have the money. It's not the right time. They have no space for miracles in their lives, and that's why miracles don't happen. People are like, I'm gonna make $50,000 this year, so I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do this and I have to do that. No wonder it's a struggle. But if you can have the faith, you can just see that bank account with that cash. Go watch The Secret. Go watch The Secret. Go read your Bible. Go read the story of David. And believe. If you don't believe, then what are we doing here then? You're wasting time. But faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains. So anyway, with that, I wish you guys a great 2019. I don't know if I'll keep this video up. I might not. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great Valentine's Day. And I'll see you on my Facebook, on my Instagram. You'll see more music things on this vlog. I might delete all my vlogs and post more music. But yeah, I wish you guys a great 2019, a great Valentine's Day. And I remind you, put God first, above everything, and then love yourself, and then you'll be able to love your neighbor. Okay? You love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. So God, you. Those are the most important things. Otherwise, you're just going to mess other people's lives up, gonna mess your own life up, and then you're just gonna come back to God. So might as well start there. And so the last thing that I want to say also is thank you. Thank you for watching my vlogs. Thank you to those of you who have been religious about watching these things. You look out for them. And yeah, I mean, I'm an artist, so I'll always be producing content, but maybe not this way about the stuff that we've just discussed. But feel free to subscribe, feel free to follow me. Thank you.